Oh, is it live right now?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Waiting.
We gotta hit spacebar. Also, give us
I
10
already did
seconds
that.
after that to share.
Get back to your seat. I already did that.
I see you.
She did the thing.
Hold on, I'm sharing.
We're live on the Facebook.
Hi.
Hold on, I'm sharing.
So it would
If either of you could share, that'd be great.
Oh, no.
Cat's on there.
Hi, cat.
Hang on, let me fix this
Wait.
because it's like blocking my beautiful face.
Meow.
See?
So
a copper,
cat
see?
in my phone is Borkarina instead of Catarina because
Oh yeah,
she's
you
a
gotta
dog.
make sure- You can see
Bow wow.
that you're barely in it, so just make sure you lean this way.
Ruff.
You set this up. This is your fault if you're not in it.
But it's the microphone stand. This wasn't here when I started. Hold on.
Okay.
This is better.
Everybody ready to rock and roll?
Hold on.
Our buddy in
I'm
the
making noise over here. Right
Yeah.
room drinking
Hold on 1 second.
Voodoo Ranger.
And not the apricot cider.
Okay.
I'm good.
Y'all ready for this?
Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
boy.
dun, dun, dun.
Cheese me, boy.
All right. In
Wale.
5, 4,
Pipple.
3.
Maniacs, thank you so very much for making it out with us. This is episode 37.
Hello.
Making out with us.
Making out with us. That is so loud on the mic. That's a great way to start off, Hannibal Lecter. Jesus. We are saltTier Podcast. We are the video game podcast where your argument is.
Making out.
Our argument is making out tonight.
Oh, God. Your argument is
We're
invalid.
arguing by making out.
Making out's never invalid.
Your argument is invalid. We are coming to you from Studio 212 here in South Lake Union, Seattle, Washington, America, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way.
There you go.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's where several of our lovely hosts all kind of dance around. We got Goon mostly on Twitter. You got Loud and Brown mostly on Instagram. And I'm not really sure who's maintaining Facebook that much, except for the stream.
Dream Alive.
Facebook is
Sort of. All of us, kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
Facebook is maintaining Facebook.
But just to let you know, on
Maybe if
Twitter,
they boost their reach more and was better at it.
word. On Twitter and Instagram, we are salt_tier pod. That's how you follow us and like us. Share us. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you, first off. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play.
4chan.
Oh, no. That's a tough subject. We're going to go
No.
back from that.
That's 8chan.
Yeah, HN. Well, thank you all the same. And specifically, let me face this thing. Today, we are brought to you by New Belgium Brewing, home of Voodoo Ranger,
Yum, yum.
Juicifer IPA,
Yum, 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 yum.
and the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA. Among other things, you probably know about saltTier, but they make very, very fantastic beers. They are notably a B Corp certified company, and to go even further than that, they are employee owned.
As it should be.
As it should be. I tell you right now, if Walmart was employee owned, that Walton family would not be where they're at right now. What do they make? They make something like
All the money.
they make like $3 million an hour.
All the money.
Too much money.
All the
Ew.
money.
Something ridiculous
Too much
like
money.
that. A minute? I think they make $3 million a minute.
Too much money.
Too much money. They're dumb.
Keep going.
Anyway, yeah, Walmart's bad. New Belgium is great. And please drink all the things. Live rangerously. That's how you follow our hashtag. And you can follow our hashtag, which is either saltTier Podcast, or I've been actually posting all week under the guise of your argument is invalid, because I love that catchphrase and it is great. I'm going to get to introductions to the host, but first and foremost, we have the Emperor Lotte. We have the Prince of Parmesan. We have WSU Cougars' very own Keep the Boogie.
Keep the boogie!
Super producer. And if you want to know why you're listening to us, it's because we are under the Dove's wing of the Sound Casting Network. Other fantastic podcasts are recorded here. Please give them a shout out. Our intern is going to throw it up on the chat right now. But first to introductions, I am Loud and Brown, at Loud and Brown on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to find games with me, I'm GrossDef with a PH. And to my right,
What up? You have the save rings ... I was gonna say auspices, under the auspices of the Soundcasting Network. I just like that word. You find me on Steam, playing some VR. I'm playing a lot of stuff lately. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We actually hit our 30th Steam group member.
30!
And we will get to that in a moment where we were announced the winner. I see we have it like toward the middle. We're going to put that at the end. We're going to make you guys hang around for that one. So toward the end of the show, we're going to announce the winner and your choice of 3 games. As far as me, are we doing like the full-on intro? Do you guys want to hear what I've been doing?
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of games in like the last 4 days. It's been very compact and very concentrated. A lot of VR. I played Accounting Plus.
Accounting Plus.
Accounting?
Accounting Plus.
Get the F
You're
out
trying
of
to be an accountant?
You start off as an accountant, but then they have a virtual reality accounting software in the game. So you put on a VR helmet in the game while you're wearing a VR helmet, and then everything goes completely wrong.
What the fuck?
Good
Do you get a
gracious.
certificate at the end?
I'll put it to you this way: this game is co-created and co-developed by Justin, whatever his name, Justin Roiland, the guy from Rick and Morty. He's one of the guys from Rick and Morty, and the developers are the developers of the Stanley Parable. If you've ever played either one of those games,
I have played the Stanley Parable.
yes. So it's pretty crazy, and I played that and beat it. You can beat it in about 2 or 3 hours if you really dig into it. It's really weird. Also, I played this game called Overload, which is basically Descent. If any of you guys remember Descent, that old 90s PC
I
game.
do not.
I remember
not.
the movie.
You're
I don't remember that at all.
You're basically in
Is
a
it like the movie?
no, that's The Descent, right?
Yeah, that's The Descent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember The Descent.
Yes. Well, Descent was a seminal type shooting game which came out in the
Very different.
mid to late 90s on the PC, Windows PC. I think it later was on the Mac. But basically, you're a ship in like a little claustrophobic, like little like underground tunnel system, and you're flying around. But what made that game seminal was it's one of the first mainstream games that actually nailed the concept of like a 3D open world flying around, go anywhere type game. And ever since then, you've seen lots of clones. Star Fox is a perfect example of a game. You know, like the open world stages on Star Fox where you can fly around. Like Descent kind of did that the first time and actually got it right. So basically, it's like that. You're flying around in some VR. It's pretty tight. They kind of messed up with the bells and whistles because there's no multiplayer to speak of besides like versus, and so you can't play it co-op. Which a coworker and I bought it to play together, and then we couldn't play together, so that was a fail. And been playing Trover Saves the Universe, which is another game by the Rick and Morty team. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we see any of those characters in season 4 somewhere in the background.
Whoa, spoilers.
They're actually having. Well, it's not official, but you can tell it's somewhere in that multiverse. So don't be surprised if you see those characters in the background of an episode. And what other VR? Oh, played Minecraft in ray tracing. Finally got that to work 100% correctly. That game is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And on that note, I posted this in the chat. I don't see it on the board, but related to that is there was an enhanced version of Minecraft, which was going to come out with 4K textures, and it was going to be on the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 and the toaster and your Amazon Fire and everything else. Got canceled today because they couldn't make Minecraft run well enough on the Xbox.
What?
And on consoles, they couldn't get all these bells and whistles, and it had ray tracing and HDR. They couldn't get any of that stuff to work at more than like 10 frames a second. So they canceled the entire thing. So I don't want to hear nothing about the consoles until these next consoles until I see Minecraft running on it. Damn it, since we can't run Minecraft on our consoles now.
It's wild.
And there's more, and I played a bunch more, but I'll kick it off to the other side of the table where we have.
Hello, guys. It's Goon PNW back in the house, straight fresh out the Vegas trip from EVO with the other 2 people that went along with me. Catch me, Goon PNW, all my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Mostly active on Twitter, kind of dead on Facebook these days. So,
Kind of dead ass on
dead
Facebook.
ass.
Rip.
So, not really been up to much. Just sort of been on the fighting game grind like I always am. I told myself I was going to take a break, but as soon as I got home from EVO, as the weekend hit, on Friday,
Why'd you
I
lie to
asked a
yourself?
bunch of people in my crew. I was like, hey, there's a tournament in Portland on Saturday. You guys want to go? Like, but I don't go alone. And everyone's like, yeah, I'll go. So then we all just traveled to Portland, and we just kind of took all of Portland's money because like 3 of us, or all 5 of us went, and all 5 of us got top 3 in like every game that we like
Because
competed
Portland's
in.
a trash city.
Because Portland's kind of free.
It must be
So I need to
Oops.
come to Portland with you then.
It's pretty free.
Make myself look
Hey
good.
Keith, I forgot what it's like to not have kids when I could just bop down to Portland. What's up with that?
But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you right now. I haven't been up to much besides that. So kicking it over to the person to the right of me.
Hello, it's Sage Bell
Hello.
on most of that media. You might need SageBell_model for, I think, Facebook and Instagram. But, you search Sage Bell, you find somebody with red hair, hopefully. Maybe purple, depends on the icon. What did I was at EVO as well. I haven't played anything since EVO.
Should get on that VR.
I mean, VR is really fun, but you didn't mention Beat Saber, and that's a pretty
I
fun
haven't really
game.
messed with that game yet, but no,
Saber.
screw that game. We need to get you on Star Trek Bridge Crew because we need a 4th person, and you need 4 people to play that
I
game.
don't
What
have
the
VR.
hell is that? Is that like a star?
I don't own a VR system.
We'll figure that out. Anyway, go. I'm
We'll
sorry.
cross
I'm
that bridge
sorry.
when we get there.
Oh, okay.
I would,
Welcome-
I would love to have you in that game, though.
Welcome to the Soundcasting Network VR Emporium.
It's pretty dope. I've been having a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm sorry, Sage. Go ahead.
She's like, wait, what was I talking about?
Should we just move into our topic about Vegas and
Yeah.
our pools and stuff?
Yeah.
I guess I could start since I started.
Yeah,
that.
let's start, Sage Bell.
So I definitely cosplayed as well as competed, which is not very common at EVO. It's either
Yay, yay.
cosplayers or competition. There's not usually together.
I feel like a lot of cosplayers most of the time really aren't competitive people.
Besides Sonic Fox.
Besides, but he's not a cosplayer.
He's not.
That's who he
That's
is.
a furry.
Says
and he
That's
is
who
awesome.
he
His
is.
lifestyle.
He's a big blue felt fox. That's who he is on the inside.
yes, that's
Yeah.
who he is.
He seems like it's a really nice dude.
Yeah.
He's a nice kid. He's a young ass kid, but he's nice.
So day one, I was in 2 tournaments. I had Soul Calibur and I had Tekken. So I had an 8 a.m. and not 8 a.m. was that 10 a.m. and a 4 p.m. And I was dressed as Nina Williams from Tekken. I have never been so well recognized in a cosplay.
If that's the one place to be recognized, that
That's
probably
definitely
is
the place to be recognized.
Besi-
And Maniacs, we just linked up Sage Bell's Instagram account to
Because
the
not
chat.
only was this a Nina Williams cosplay, this was a wedding dress, and so she was walking around in a wedding dress cosplay because
Yes.
it's an alternative
And
costume.
she even did the pose. If you look on the Facebook, you can see the pose.
I did.
Yeah, you
Oh.
did the pose. I saw you pose in the casino.
Oh, yeah, because the casino was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that wedding dress I bought Monday before con. I tore up before the last podcast we did. So you saw me doing that.
Lit.
So I bought it the same day.
I gotta say it. When you tore your dress, what a mess.
What the hell?
I confess. Okay.
And then I
on,
in
that's
the following morning, Tuesday morning, I spritz it with some dye so it had the blue ends, and then I got like a box cutter and just like attacked the dress. So in under 4 hours, I
You got some
made a
assistance.
cosplay.
Why did you not live stream
Oh,
this?
and then on Wednesday when I landed in Vegas and we were at Loudon Brown's mom's house, his mom and his sister helped me burn the wedding dress.
My family's pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty like
pretty
it was
wild.
pretty awesome because it was like 3 women just destroying a wedding dress, like this weird therapeutic like just woman bonding moment, I guess. Soul Calibur in my first game, I lost both my games. Like I was 0 for 2 for both Soul Calibur and Tekken, but I gave the guy in the losers bracket both times for both games a run for their money. These two, Loud and Brown and Goon P&W, watched me play my Tekken bracket, and I definitely surprised at least one of the 2 guys I played against.
You definitely did. And you definitely got some nice people that want to take pictures with you and just a creep or 2. Maybe just a creep or 2.
There's definitely
There's
a
gotta
couple
be.
creeps. There's a
Gotta
couple
be.
creeps.
You got
They're
any
they're
creep
eyeballing.
stories, Sage Bell? You don't have to share it, but I thought one was heel Arius.
Are you talking about the?
She's like, which creep story? Can you
Well, I don't know what. So I had a little like I made a
Heel Arius.
First of all, I want to say the really cute one. I had like this little teeny Japanese person who spoke no English come up to me, and he was probably like chest level and asked for a photo.
Hell yeah.
He was just like so adorable. Like I think he was underage too.
He's, like,
so,
pint-sized?
Yeah, and he's like, "Forgive me, my English is bad." Picture, and I was like, "Okay." Super cute. And then I made friends with someone who is openly on the spectrum and very aware that they were on the spectrum.
Yes.
And just like loved the fact that I was very nice to him. And he was also in a Tekken cosplay, so we ended up like
Nice.
in like a group photo with like 10 other random Tekken cosplayers, and none of us repeated cosplays. It was
Nice.
kind of cool.
That's the good stuff.
Like,
So,
no-
so
nothing
you
was
guys look like
planned.
the freaking character select screen, huh?
Yeah, which is dope.
Sick.
Yes, actually,
Amanda? Amanda called it Mama Amanda.
One person did ask me to step on them while I was in Nina Williams.
Yes, that's the one I saw.
Of course that's the one you would
I didn't
see.
post it.
I swear.
The photo you've seen me post is a guy praising me as Nina Williams,
Okay,
but
yeah, that's what it was. Yes.
I was barefoot just walking around Kong because heels suck. And some guy's like, so can I have a photo of you stepping on me? I'm like, can I put my heels on? And he's like, I love you. So Nina Williams, very well received. Crimson Viper, not really.
Really? That game is only 4 years old.
What?
That's nuts. Ultra? Street Fighter 4
Fighter 4.
Ultra?
Or
It's only 4 years
NBC3.
old?
Yeah. Ultra, Street Fighter 5 came out 3 years ago.
I guess because she's not what's in right
Okay,
now,
okay,
so
okay.
Tekken right now is on the come up, so of course she'd
Yeah.
be getting more popularity off of a Tekken.
So
display.
I might walk around at PAX just casually as Tekken cosplay, just for fun.
Amanda is reacting on our chat right now. Thusly so.
I don't remember. I mean, yeah, I don't remember anyone like crossing any lines, but I'm really good at like politely turning people down or being like very personable to people. So in cosplay, I'm like super willing to just be weird with people if they ask.
Word.
So just ask to be weird.
Yeah. Just if you ask politely, I'll do it. I'll be like, okay.
But
There you go.
altogether, a great EVO experience.
I had a great EVO experience, especially staying up till 7 a.m.
yeah,
in the
I was like,
casino.
after pools was the part where we all did the most shit. I feel
Oh
like.
my
here-
god.
Well, there's the segue. I'm going to butt in. So this is Loud and Brown. And I had an experience at EVO. And I landed with about like an hour away from when Sage Bell did, hung out in downtown, did some partying, but it didn't really party until we met up with Goon. And I went to the
Illuminati suite.
the anime Illuminati.
Yep.
They rented out, they reserved the suite of Mandalay Bay, and I went in there and there were like 12 setups?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Some semi-pros, a couple sponsored cats, a lot of killers.
There is a couple pros there. It's like just chilling, doing money matches. So.
And Loud and Brown went to the bar, and I went and had a big old vodka orange juice.
Nice.
And I went bopping around. I didn't bring my stick because I'm not an anime fighter, right? And then Goon played some pretty good people. We saw some gatekeepers on some games, like people 11, 10 kills. But at the end, at the core of it, it's people meeting people that they only see online.
So hold on. So for noobs like us, what's a gatekeeper?
A gatekeeper essentially is a person whose entire job is to stop you from reaching whatever peak that you want. So, for example, like if someone goes in and be like, I want to get top 12, and you're the person that gets them 14th place, that's a gatekeeper.
Okay, I got you.
But it was a wonderful event and a great way to start off that Thursday. And
Yeah, Thursday.
what did we do after that?
After the anime suite?
Yeah.
We did stuff after the anime suite?
Dude, we did
Did
not
you?
go to bed. Yeah. Anyway, scotches were
I
had.
was hanging out with cats. So.
Yeah, we went wild. We went buck. We had a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
no, we went to the Red Bull party after that.
we did.
Yeah.
And then Goon was very fortunate enough. We were on the way to the Illuminati party. No, we might have been in between. And I kind of had a fanboy moment. And I bumped into one of my favorite eSports celebrities, Ricky Ortiz, who we might as well talk about it right now, is a player that was male and played as Ricky Ortiz for years and transitioned and is like a top 20 Street Fighter player, like in the world. And it's nice to see that represented in the upper echelon of fighting games. It's freaking great. And the same reason why we shouldn't shame Sonic Fox for being a furry. Like, that's his identity, and that is who he is. And I love that exists once again.
He's a
on
blue
the top tier.
He's a blue felt fox on the inside.
There you
and
go.
That's what really counts.
I
That's
watched-
what my daddy used to tell me.
I watched him destroy at Mortal Kombat because I've like never seen him play before.
Well, that is his game.
That's
That
his,
is
It
he
was-
owns that game.
It was pretty great to watch though. 'Cause,
Oh
like,
my God.
I watched nothing Mortal Kombat.
That
prior.
man's
Alright.
like when it comes to Mortal Kombat, he's the GOAT. Like no one.
I have a confession though. Like
Go.
last year when this was going on and we discussed this, I watched like quite a good bit of it. This year I have a confession. I didn't watch any EVO. So are you guys gonna fill us in? Are you
Yeah.
gonna let
Yes,
me know?
we'll go
I-
into that.
Because
We're gonna-
I've been waiting. I haven't looked at anything.
No,
because
we're
I
gonna
wanted to
do
talk
our
to you guys.
rounds.
Okay.
My rounds are about
Okay.
to be done because, okay, so I did show up with the saltTier podcast Friday morning, only to find out my pools.
Oh yeah, that's
Evening
right.
and the next day.
Your pools were not
My
at 10
pools
a.m.
for Tekken were at 10 a.m. Saturday.
Not Friday.
So I hung out. I got my stick refitted with some metallic buttons. There was a little bit of a hiccup. You know, the buttons weren't connected correctly, but you know, because the Seattle the Seattle gaming scene's so great. FGC, someone let me borrow their Razer stick, and it worked perfect. And I did Street Fighter, and I went 1 and 2, and I had that punk kid. He was not even good. And he beat me, and he's like, I'm making out of pools. I'm like, are you? And he did. The person I fought in losers was way better than him. 100%. I don't know how this jackass. He didn't. I think his gamer tag was that guy Phil. He was a Rashid main. I took a set off him.
Oh,
We
what?
went to third round every set. Now, once again, during Street Fighter 4, I was known as the gatekeeper. They were like, "Hey, Derek's not that good, but if you can't beat Derek, you don't belong in top 16." Like, Derek has a restaurant job and works most weekends, so he doesn't play as much as us. But he's not a pushover. Albert remembers he's played me in Street Fighter. Like, I know how to play Street Fighter. I know how to play that game.
Whereas I do not.
Yeah. And even when I first started playing Dragon Ball, just like my basics, I understand fighting games. I know what zoning is. I know how to block. I know what Oki is. And so if someone can't beat me in the Street Fighter scene and they blame it on a character or they blame it on their knight, I'm like, no. You're supposed to beat me if you're any good. So you need to go practice. So that person should have not made it out of winners. He made it out of pools and winners. And then the next morning, because that night on Friday night we went kind of hard, and I showed up to Tekken in a full three-piece suit, a little hungover, and I washed. I went 1 and 2. I was a little hungover.
But you had your suit on though.
I looked
did have a
fresh.
suit on.
I made it. Keep the boogie. I made it on the EVO official Twitter. They only did 8 pictures, and I was one of them. And I was just like, right at the camera. saltTier loud and brown.
It was the suit, I tell you.
was
And
the
you
I
suit.
looked fresh.
You got your whole look. You had the hair and everything.
I will relink it. Let me get the intern. We'll relink it when we're talking about Albert's moment. And then Saturday night, saltTier podcast, including Vaughn Shady, who is not present right now. We hung out with the dragon.
Well, also we matched in like the weird opposite way. So Derek had the white suit and I had a black suit.
Yeah.
And so we
Oh,
I peeped that in your pictures.
we like totally matched that
Yeah.
night too. And then we're playing like all the like weird, just like casino shit.
And the
all
picture of
night.
him I remember is he's like sitting in the background while somebody's playing something on a cabinet, and Shady's just like sitting there, just like he's just like perched on a stool, just sitting there in the background.
They came into the room with like food, and I was like, "Oh my god, it seems delicious!" Like it was a bunch of duck, but then I started to dig through the food, and it was like coated in like hints of cilantro, and I couldn't eat their leftovers.
No.
Oh, the
I was
cilantro.
so upset because I was so hungry.
Throw it in the
And keep the
trash.
boogie, just to get your eyebrows up. The food that she's mentioning is
Momofuku.
our buddy. Yeah, we went to Momofuku. Yeah, look at those eyebrows. Yeah, we went to Momofuku. We got the duck. We got the country ham. We got the pork buns. Ahmed. Oh, sorry, Momar.
His eyes are rolling in the back of
Momar
his head.
ordered whatever he
Orgasmically,
wanted.
everyone.
And it was fantastic. And we had some leftovers. And Sagebro couldn't eat any.
I ate a little bit, and then I was like, "Okay, if I eat any more, I'll die." You know, you push the
Big sad.
the allergy.
Real big sad.
Keith's legs started going up and down like a dog wagging its tail, like involuntarily. I can see.
He's like,
You can't even help it.
Was it? It's Stephen Chang's restaurant, right? Is that his name? Stephen Chang? Stephen Chen?
I will put it on.
David Chang. Sorry, my mistake. But I watched his, Netflix documentary, Ugly Delicious, and it's a really good documentary. For those who haven't seen it, you really should watch it. It's really good. But that restaurant is prolific in Vegas.
Nice.
It's an understatement.
It is an understatement. We wanted to go, but I didn't have any time to go.
So
Next year.
who won what and what happened?
We're just talking about our days.
No.
And then we're going to talk about the winners.
No.
That's kind of the end. And then we played a lot of. I got to meet Ryan Hart. I got to meet Lil Majin, Tekken Pro. I got to meet Pork Chop. And it's not just pork chop for Tekken. His whole crew is that loud and crazy.
By the way, it's poke chop.
Poke chop. They are
chop.
all absolutely bananas. They're crazy
I
people.
managed to get some photos. I sat there during one of Poke Chop's sets, and his hype man or teammate or somebody was like, who here doesn't think Poke Chop's gonna win? He's like, I bet $5, and puts $5 out and like raises it in the air. He's like, who thinks Poke Chop ain't gonna win?
You know
And
what?
like he's like yelling, and then one guy's like, I'll take that bet, and like pulls the like $5 out. It was great. Just
You
watch
know what?
people yell.
You know what? I can appreciate that because I'm waiting for in esports when it goes like full on, like there's teams and like the friends and like their crew, they have a theme. Like I want to see that. I want to see it where it's like almost like wrestling out there. I want to see pyrotechnics and all that shit. I'm waiting for that.
Understood.
We did play.
Will we ever get that?
What?
Will we ever get?
Pyrotechnics?
Yeah. Will we ever get it where
Like our team.
a character like that is like kind of like the norm where everybody has like a thing?
Oh, dude, you're basically talking about CEO.
CEO.
CEO's wild as shit.
CEO,
Really?
Fantastic. Yeah. So
It's
see.
bananas.
I gotta
Florida,
see. I gotta
right?
see that
Florida.
then.
It's a fighting. Yeah, it's in Florida. It's a fighting game major.
Wait, it's where?
Florida.
in
Okay,
Florida.
that's all you gotta say.
It's a fighting game major associated with wrestling.
Disclaimer.
So like the top 8s of like most of the popular games are going to be in this wrestling ring, and they introduce the top 8 players
It's
out like
it's
you
legit in a
would.
wrestling ring?
Yeah, like you introduce the players like you would like a wrestling intro. So they'll like come out and be like super flashy.
Why am I just hearing about this
It's
now?
super good. It's really funny. Like
What's
a
it
lot
called
of
don't
again?
read
That's
group
what-
chat.
CEO.
That's what me and Von Shader are doing next year. Because
What's
it's CEO is the.
What's the
Dude,
abbreviation?
I will go to that.
Oh, I actually
CEO
don't-
means it was like
I want to see that before I die.
it was like Community something Orlando, because it's from Florida.
I'm gonna check that out on YouTube when we're done with this. Because if it's legit, I might go check that out.
It's super fun. Every time I watch Top 8 CEO, it's a great time.
And of course, Xavier Woods from the New Day WWE
Yep.
was at EVO, and Astro Gaming had a post with him.
I'm a fan of that guy just because of his name, because that's my son's name too.
Xavier
So,
Woods.
yeah, his parents have good taste.
His parents have good taste. But yeah, CEO. So right now the big 3 in fighting game community is CEO, Combo Breaker, and of course EVO. So CEO and Combo Breaker are like neck and neck in terms of like how many people they draw in for attendees. But Combo Breaker is all the way in Chicago.
Community Effort Orlando.
Community Effort Orlando. So I was close. I knew the O was Orlando.
It's in Daytona.
I gotta check that out.
It's awesome.
Cause Florida.
Check it out. Check it out. And then the trophies you get for first place in the top 8s are belts.
Sick. That's what I'm talking about.
So they're championship belts.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
So,
was thinking
do they
like
spin?
martial arts belts instead of wrestling.
I want like a LED ones you can like program and like put your. Face
Oh, that's a
on
little
it or
extra. That's just a little bit extra.
something. LEDs are cheap. They could do it.
$10 more.
It's fair.
$10.
Are you looking something up, Loud and Brown?
That was pretty much the end of it. I don't want to talk about Tekken 8 yet until you're done talking about your experience.
8?
Your
Tekken
8.
Tekken 7.
Oh,
Sorry,
I was
top
like,
eight.
I was like, what the fuck?
Tekken
Yeah,
7's
it is.
top 8. That was my experience. I had a lot of fun. I went 1 and 2 on both games. I'll practice more next time. Now I have the perfect travel stick. My stick is pretty. You know it's pretty. For a travel stick, that's a good looking stick.
Yeah.
A
The
travel stick.
upgraded one.
A travel stick for your pocket, Cammy.
For my pocket. Wow, you really sit on that pocket.
I love the pocket. I can't drop that. Nope.
Well, I mean, basically my experiences like with these two have been similarly the same. Like I also had 10 a.m. pools, so I was with Sage and Loud and Brown waiting in line. The thing that they failed to mention is that the line was monstrous on the opening day.
It was awful.
Because they installed some metal detectors. So because they installed metal detectors, they only had like 5 up at a time.
Yo, but what was up with the AC? It wasn't all like people passing out and dying.
No. It
right?
was,
No,
it
that
was
was
very
fine.
well ventilated.
Okay.
Very,
Yeah.
very well ventilated.
That's fine.
But basically, we were like, people were sitting in line like as early as 8 in the morning to get into their 10 a.m. pools. And then it was still going over 10 a.m. Like we were still in line by like 10:15 and we haven't moved yet.
Wow.
So then they're like, hey, so we're just going to bypass all the people with 10 a.m. pools into the media section and go through the media line. So, which
There was a
completely
Twitter
negates,
post about it.
completely
We didn't
negates
know.
the idea of using metal detectors, right? Because we didn't use any metal detectors. We just walked straight through.
Wow.
So it's kind of ironic and kind of an oxymoron.
Staff entrance.
But yeah, we went through the staff entrance to get to our 10 a.m. pools. We showed up, and even then, like, there's still some people that didn't make it in time for their 10 a.m. pools, which is crazy to me. Like, they
It
had a
is.
sign that people said, "Here, go here if you have 10 a.m. pools," and they were gonna not DQ people for an hour. They gave people an hour leeway. So
That's how bad the lines
yeah,
were.
people still didn't show up, so I got a bye in my first round. And then I had to play this other guy and he wasn't very good. I kind of beat his ass like really hard.
So you got two.
I got a free win and then basically another free win.
2-0, baby.
And then I played this other guy that was slightly better, but I beat him 2-1. And then I had to play a professional player, which is Echo Fox's The Kill Sage. He is a fighting game player who lives with Sonic Fox and lives with Nakiel, and they train together all the time. So all three of them just train in their own room, and like they're part of the NYC scene, so New York. And the first round, he stomped me. Like I've never been more manhandled in Dragon Ball FighterZ in my entire life. Like that man like bent me over. It was just.
You didn't tell him that you were 356 last year. Who the fuck you think you are, man?
He was like top 16 last year.
I was 356 though. Fuck out of here.
So he basically ended up. So there's a terminology we call it in the fighting game community. Dragon Ball FighterZ is he two-touched me. So basically what that means is if he hits me once, he'll combo me so hard that I lose like 50% of my health, and if he hits me again, I'm dead. So it's called two-touching.
I hate that. That's why I don't like anime fighters.
So he two-touched me hella hard with all of my characters in the first round, and then I had literally 4 or 5 members of Seattle's FGC behind me watching me, and like 3 of them came up and coached me all simultaneously. Like, hey man, you need to do this, slow the game down. Like you're letting him get straight hits off you for no reason. And then I took all their advice and I did a little better. I held the game and like kind of made it last a little longer. I still couldn't take any characters from him, but he ended up beating me anyway. So that was a very humbling experience playing an actual pro, because I've been wanting to play a pro for a long time to see where I'm at. So I can go toe to toe if I think correctly, but I still can't get any kills or like confirm anything or end the game. So
Dude,
I have a way to go.
But you got a hella XP off that. You leveled up like twice off of that shit.
Because like the next match when he sent me to losers, like I dominated this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then I got all the way to losers finals of my pool. So it was basically whoever wins this gets out of pools. And I played the guy that I played casual matches with before our pool started, so he knew everything about what I did.
Diabolical.
So he literally was like, I know all of your gimmicks, I know all of your strategies. So he literally like downloaded me like game 1, and then I had to switch teams and still ended up getting crushed by him. So I drowned in my pools before getting out of pools, which is very disheartening.
So you were more powerful, but you still got to watch. It was like a Iron Man fighting Captain America. Like he just couldn't do it at first.
Yep,
like Captain America was just washing him at the end.
He knew everything I did. I changed teams. I slowed the game down, which apparently I guess I'm really good at doing, but still couldn't close it out. So it was really sad. But then I found out that the next day during his day 1 of pools, he got eliminated immediately after getting out of pools. So I kind of feel a little better. He didn't get too far. So I spent most of Friday actually sulking. It's pretty sad. So like I like kind of like disengaged from my phone and like didn't talk to anybody for at least like 4 or 5 hours and just like wandered EVO by myself.
But you were in Vegas though, so
yeah. So this thing happened where like I was just kind of wandering by myself, and then after like 5 hours, I was like, what the fuck am I upset about? Like I'm gonna go get a giant fat Tuesday. And
yeah,
like,
he did.
I could just see you. You're like soul searching. You were like walking.
Like you know, like that piano theme that plays during like the Hulk with like Lou Ferrigno when he's like hitchhiking. Yeah, that was me.
If you were anywhere else, you would have been like walking on the beach and like, looking at the sun.
And like it literally, like I had an epiphany. Like I was just walking, all of a sudden I stopped walking. I was like, wait a minute. What the hell am I upset about? I was like, I'm next to a Fat Tuesday. I'm gonna go back to my room, get my Fat Tuesday glass, go to Fat Tuesday, spend like $15 to get a giant ass like tumbler full of like daiquiri margarita, and then they added like 4 extra shots for me, and I had a great time afterwards.
I love Drunk Albert. He is great.
I have no filter, like
it's
literally
fantastic.
no filter. Like I'll say something like just if I think it, I'll say it. Like that's how bad it is.
Like, instead of being patient, he just kind of does it and just goes up and does the thing. And I was like, oh, okay, Albert.
I don't get drunk very often, so when I am, like, things like that happen.
I don't get drunk all the time, but when I do,
it's either a horrible time or a great time.
It's
one of those
things. I think you
things.
had many great drunk
I had a very great
time
at EVO after the pools thing, so that was really cool. And then the last highlight to everything was like on Sunday when they had the top 8s for everything. Oh, sorry, Saturday when they had the top 8s for the things that weren't in the arena. Because they like separate all 9 games. Like 5 games were being played not in the arena, and 4 games were being played not in the arena, and 5 were. So Dragon Ball and Unist, which are the 2 games that I play, were on Saturday. So what happened was there's a main stage area where you can watch it on a giant screen, and there's a staging area where all the photographers, videographers, media, like they're in that spot to take pictures or whatever. So I tried to pull a fast one and see if it worked. I took my camera out and I put on the longest lens I had, which is like 105 millimeter. It's not that long, but it's like pretty girthy. Pretty girthy.
Hey.
And then I just walked into the staging area to see what would happen. And I stayed in the staging area for all of Eunice and all of Dragon Ball. Nobody
Is that where you
questioned
took all
me.
those like really good pictures?
Yeah, that's where I took those pictures. Nobody questioned me.
For those that don't know, look on our Facebook. Like Goon took like some fucking amazing pictures.
You got retweeted by.
I got retweeted by Yipes. I got retweeted
Yeah.
by Ringe. I got retweeted by the Equinox crew. I got retweeted by Cuddlecore. And these are all like prominent pro players because I took pictures of them. And then like I just started
And they're
sharing
amazing
it, like-
pictures. So yeah.
And I wouldn't have gotten those if I literally just didn't act like I belonged there. I just literally walked into the staging area and I was like, hey, I'm just going to do what I'm doing and I hope no one talks to me. And so like the only time I was like kind of panicking was like this guy was like looking at me and he looked at me for like 15 seconds. Like trying to see if he like knew me or something, and he just like shrugged and like walked away. So
like since you cross-reference our kids a couple times on here, that I tell my kids that like act like you've been there before, because it's surprising how much you'll get away with
Yep.
if you just act like you've been there before.
because basically like I was literally there for 2 whole top 8s until Samurai Showdown's top 8 started, and then they're like, hey, you don't belong here. I'm like, you're right, I don't. I'll leave now. Like, have a good day. So that was the highlight to that was the one thing about EVO that I really enjoyed, was just kind of sneaking my way into the photographer staging area, taking pictures of like a lot of the big name photographers that I really am inspired by in the FGC, like a girl named Stephanie Lindgren. She's like super good. She took that picture of Arslan Ash that we all retweeted where he's praying to Mecca.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she took that photo. So I got inspired by her. So I was really excited. Like I managed to talk to her for just like a split second, and she seemed really nice. So, and she's from Sweden, so it was really cool.
I have one question for you.
Mhm.
Do you regret not entering more games?
I felt like if I entered more games, my focus wouldn't be as my focus wouldn't be as good, because
Okay.
I'd be spending time like focusing. Okay, like I
If
gotta
you
change.
did
I gotta
both,
change how the game plays now, because I gotta go. For example, if I entered Eunice,
Yeah, that's what I meant to.
I gotta change from Dragon Ball's controls to Eunice controls.
Yeah.
Depending on like, it would suck if like, you know, I'd be playing my Dragon Ball pools and then I only have like 10 minutes to
Okay,
get to my
yeah,
Eunice
fair.
pools and do that. Like, I don't want to do that. So, I might next year. I just wasn't comfortable. Like, Dragon Ball was the only game that I was comfortable in like going and entering and playing.
100% fair.
So that's what I did, and I don't regret it. But next year, I'm definitely gonna enter more than one game
Okay.
for sure.
I won't be able to go next year, so I'll have to wait 2 years. I
Yeah.
have a wedding to attend.
You have weddings.
I have many weddings, but one of them is during the same weekend. So
Right.
The weekends might change too. We don't know.
it's
That's
true.
true.
But it's
Also,
in the month of.
Maniacs.
True.
In for broad strokes of what happened at EVO. Top 8 was fire. We had Aslan Ash from Pakistan win everything. He beat all the Japanese, all the Koreans.
The best thing about Arslan Ash was like, I'm not even the strongest player in Pakistan. That's what he said in an interview. I was like, what is this, some Saiyan saga bullshit where you're like, I'm not even the strongest one?
So we only beat
Like,
Radinsk. Now
yeah,
Vegeta
he's
and
Raditz.
Nappa are
There's
coming.
probably like Vegeta and Nappa out there. Like, there has
If
to
you
be.
don't know these references, Maniacs, you're listening to the wrong podcast. Street
So wait,
Fighter
why
is
am I
great.
here?
We got Bonchan winning.
That was awesome.
Some pretty good gameplay.
Big Bird made it really far. I was really impressed. For
Big
those who
Bird's
don't know,
good,
Big
even
Bird's
though-
also a Middle Eastern player. So the Middle
Yep.
East, the Middle Eastern people kind of made it rise this year at EVO. So that was really cool.
It was cool.
That's good.
They've been kind of holding it down in general. Like, isn't Kuroki from Dota 2? Isn't he also
Kuroki is from
yeah.
Sumail. Sumail is from Pakistan.
Yes.
And yo,
Kuroki's
can we
from
talk
Lebanon.
about Dragon Ball Z Fighters and how emotional that was?
Yes. I took pictures of it. I was
I
there for
know.
it.
Dude,
I was like 4 feet away from
Well
Luigi.
deserved. And how good was Sonic Fox? Just like
Well, first of all, I just want to say winners finals of top 8, where it was the first round of Sonic Fox versus Goichi, is by far single-handed the best games of Dragon Ball ever played, ever.
you heard it here first.
Those matches, it was 3-2. Those matches were all incredibly close. It could have gone either way, and that game was like a prime example of like the highest level of Dragon Ball Fighters.
Is that a rematch from last year?
It was a rematch from last year.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, that match ended up Goichi winning and knocking Sonic Fox in the losers. So it's the opposite this time around.
And it could have went either way last year.
It could have either way last year also. And then Sonic Fox beat his way back to grand finals to meet Goichi again. He almost reset the bracket until Goichi closed it out. And as soon as he closed it out, he started crying. Like,
Okay, yeah, I saw that part. Yeah.
he was like
He got
crying.
pretty
He got
emotional.
super emotional. And like Sonic Fox is by far the most wholesome dude ever. So he's like patting his back. He's like, "You did it, man! Like, good job!" And like he's like crying and like trying to like hold words together and was like saying thank you in Japanese to Sonic Fox, and like he was just hugging. It was like it was super cute. And he was just, I don't know, it was a really good moment.
So I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that live.
That was live.
Me too.
Okay,
it's
but I'm glad
okay.
I waited because I got to hear from you guys.
But
You were there.
The best part was when Sonic Fox beat I think it was Fenrich, who was he met in losers finals. Fenrich got up and like walked back to the top 8 staging area, and then Sonic Fox turns around, looks at Goichi, takes the player 2 chair and shoves it at him. And he was like, "Sit down, we're gonna play." Like he was super.
He was top 8
ready.
last year, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fenrich was also top. Fenrich is, I think, he's like the 3rd best player in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait,
I remember that name.
who threw the chair at who?
Sonic Fox threw the chair at Goichi.
Okay,
he
just
was
double checking. I
pushing
heard
the
that.
chair.
Yeah, he was pushing the chair, as in like, because once
Toward him,
Fenrich
like-
got up and like walked away, he was like, "It's your turn to get your ass beat." So he was like pushing the chair at Goichi.
So
We
he
need
like
more
jumped
show-
on stage and he's like, "No, you get back here. No break for you."
We need more showmanship. You
Sonic
know?
Fox is definitely a good showman. He's
Oh, yeah.
he's a really wholesome showman too. And the thing is like he understands that he's really good. He understands that he's a great player. So when you beat him, he's very accepting and like welcoming to the fact that you did beat him, because not a lot of people can. And he knows that. He's one of those people that knows that like it's hard to beat him. So when people do, it's an achievement.
And plus, like, he's probably like learned a lot of things along the way, like being basically like a polymorph and playing like several games at the same time.
Plays like 7 different games.
Yeah, so-
and has gotten top 8 in like all of the ones he
Yeah.
played.
So somewhere in there, he's just gotten over the fact that I'm gonna lose. So that's why I figure out how to play these things.
Yep.
Like that's the approach
He's
I
like
see
if
him
he,
taking. Yeah.
what he does is like, "Hey, I'm gonna play this game. I'm really good at it, but we'll see. Like if I keep losing, I'm gonna drop this game and play the games that I'm actually really good at." So like he's gotten like top 8s in like several games, but then he drops them because he only had like one strong showing.
To be honest, like people like that who are good at winning, like they're only good at winning because they're also good at losing. Like
Yep.
honestly, like in anything, like you can only be a good winner if you know how to take a loss.
Yep, and I feel like he took a lot of L's because he originally played Street Fighter, and I feel like he learned a lot from Street Fighter. He was a Fang player.
Ooh.
I'll believe that
So Sonic Fox was a Fang player.
because he's a nasty boy.
And he left Street Fighter for a while, but now all of a sudden Poison took his interest with the release, so now he's playing Poison on Street Fighter. And
Oh,
apparently
yeah.
he just finished bodying some high level pros from Street Fighter.
nice.
Like he said, he just beat Cool Kid, he beat Chris G, he beat Jay Wong. He's been on the come up in Street Fighter also.
He beat Jaewon.
He beat Jay Wong, but Jay Wong hasn't been really focusing on Street Fighter that much. He's been playing Sam Show.
Ooh.
He actually dropped out of his Street Fighter pools at EVO to play Samurai Showdown.
You know why?
Is that what happened?
Yep.
Because that dude fucking been there, done that. That dude's like the
Yeah,
fucking
that guy's
Wayne
like 33 or 34, has a kid, has a wife.
Yeah, that dude's like the Wayne Gretzky of Street Fighter. Like you're not passing him. Like no matter what.
all
Like,
the achievements he has, you'll never
yeah,
get. Like
yeah, you never pass him. He's a legend.
so, it makes sense. Like because he played Street Fighter a bunch and he played Marvel a bunch. He actually got his popularity
You
from
know
playing
who
Marvel.
he is to video games? Like to me, he's Jerry West, and for the guys that don't know him, he's one of the greatest basketball like ever. Like this dude played
Yeah.
back like 30, 40 years ago. He's the symbol. You know when you see the NBA symbol, you know you see the guy dribbling the ball. That's Jerry West. It's not Michael Jordan.
Would you think it'd be okay for me to say that I think Sonic Fox is the LeBron James of the FGC?
No, he's the Michael Jordan of it.
You think he's the Michael Jordan of the FGC, not the LeBron James?
It's too young to be the freaking Michael Jordan.
Well, he's the young Jordan. He's the fucking phenom.
Oh, when he was like
that's
fresh,
So in his
fresh on
good.
the Bulls, number 23.
like his first like 5 or 6 seasons before he won a championship. Yeah, before he like blew up. Yeah.
He's incredibly good. Gifted.
He's the first Gatorade like Mike. yeah, like right in that time period, like right before he won his first championship.
That's
yeah.
impressive. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
I
like,
do.
like 1990-91 Michael Jordan.
Well, you try to
What are you
predict
trying
for
to say,
someone to
Sage?
stop talking and then you fuck up. I was like, oh, no.
Wait,
Get in there.
what are you trying to say?
Oh, I wanted to still talking about EVO, but we haven't really mentioned anything about Soul Calibur. And I want to make note that, okay, can someone help me with, Kayane?
Kayane?
Yes.
Female top 8, 10
Yep.
years later.
I
Placed,
love her.
I don't know. She placed top 8, but 10 years ago she got 9th place.
I love her.
So the
watch
fact
her
that we
channel.
got at least one girl in top
One
8 out of all the
woman in
games?
top 8 in
Which-
all the games.
Hold on, I have a question though. Like, was she wearing a kimono?
No.
No.
She's
Well,
she's
she
French,
actually-
by
Yeah,
the
I
way.
know, I know, but
Oh,
like,
okay.
I see her compete
She
with a kimono.
when she qualified she was wearing one.
I've been subbed to her channel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She
I've been
was.
subbed to her channel for like forever because I'm in
That's
love
right.
with her.
Yep.
She's amazing.
She's so precious.
So for those guys who don't know, Kayane has been in the Soul Calibur scene for a long
Yo, she's legit.
time.
She goes over there and talks to the like she knows all of them. Like I watch all of her almost all of her videos. It's all in French, but it doesn't matter because you can just watch her and just see what she's doing.
She's super fucking good at that game.
Yeah.
She's like mad.
And
Good.
she
I'm
knows-
linking her on the chat right now.
She knows what she's talking about, and she's just beautiful and lovely to look at and to listen to. Even though I don't know what she's saying, it doesn't matter.
Because like there's still a lot of misogyny
language
going
of
on
love.
Yes.
in the FGC, where like a lot of people are like, name a woman that's gone top 8.
She's talking. She's talking video games in French. Like it doesn't come much sexier than that.
That's pretty sexy. But everybody, that was EVO. Please look at our Twitter feeds. We posted a lot about it. I'm trying to find when I got tweeted on the official EVO, and I cannot find the post, but I remember
It's
it.
filled with filthy lies.
Oh, you know what? Was it? It was Instagram. It wasn't Twitter.
Oh,
I'm a dum-dum.
So she finished top 8.
who? Kayane?
Yes.
Yes.
She
Okay,
qualified
that's-
top
She's
8.
qualified top 8.
Nice.
I don't know where she placed, but she is in top 8.
She's good.
So I guess you don't really know what happened during finals for Tekken.
No.
They were messing with our commentators. And so they were just like playing little clips
Oh,
between
yep.
matches, and one of them was like
Metal Gear Solid.
yeah. And so it was like Solid Snake, like little like intro thingy, and then everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I got pissed.
So David Hayter,
voice.
the voice actor for Solid Snake, it turns out that EVO requested that voice from like a Fiverr type of thing, where like they pay him and he does like a voice thing for personal use.
yes, okay.
So, but what he didn't know is that EVO used it for business use, not for personal use. So David Hayter was like, I didn't consent to this, neither did Konami. Don't ever do this again. And
Like during the thing.
no, after he found out that they used his likeness like for EVO, because it tricked a bunch of fans, because fans thought that Solid Snake was being announced for Tekken. So everyone was like mad excited, and then Harada comes out and he was like, that's all the announcements we got, none of them involving Solid Snake. So people were like, did you just blue balls us? And then you find out that that was all an EVO thing, not a Bandai thing.
Okay, but Harada just like blue balls us the entire time, anyways.
Yeah.
He comes out and unravels this scroll, and he's like, "So."
Oh, it's the Ono apology scroll.
Yeah, and he's basically like, "Sorry, the Soul Calibur sound sucked. We have nothing for Tekken," and walks off stage.
And then people were like super shocked. Then he stops, turns around, starts walking back to the crowd, and everyone starts cheering again. And then he drops some like Tekken announcements for like new characters, and then he leaves again, and then like comes back one more time to like show one last thing, and then finally leaves, and then none of it was Solid Snake, so everyone was like mad confused. And then finally you find out that Solid Snake thing was entirely EVO, not Bandai.
Oh, okay. So the confusion in there.
Yeah, so all the fans are super
Yeah.
confused. Like the live commentators were like, "What was that?" And it actually wasn't gonna happen.
You know what though? Like now they have to do it. Like now they have
Right?
to, now they have to put him in there.
Now it's a meme.
I
Like,
want to see him in his box. I want to see him like dodging like his low dodge is a fucking box.
well, because like he's in Smash, so
Yeah.
why not put him in Tekken?
I mean, they announced only 2 of the characters for their season they're going to reveal. So
got a lot more
Oh
to
my
reveal.
God.
one's an
the
original
new-
character.
The new Tekken character.
Oh,
looks
Leroy Smith.
amazing.
Leroy Smith. They announced
Is it Smith? I said Smith.
No, it's Leroy. It's Leroy Smith.
Is that the old pimp, the old black pimp?
He's an old black guy that knows Wing Chun.
Yeah.
But
Leroy Smith, that's his name.
yeah, Leroy
You're right,
Smith.
yeah.
It's almost like a throwback to like those blaxploitation films
Yes,
from the
Very much
70s.
so. Speaking of that, did you see like
Called him a
Dolomite?
spicy
There's a
grandpa?
Dolomite movie coming out with Eddie Murphy in it.
No.
Yeah, I saw that today while we're talking on that subject. So it's related. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, and
Leroy Smith.
the last really cool announcement that happened at EVO was when all of the fighting game people walked away because they're getting ready for Smash. They dropped the trailer for Guilty Gear.
Oh,
The
I
brand
missed
new
it.
Guilty Gear trailer.
good. I was
missed
there.
it.
Yeah, I was not there. I was like, oh, this is all they got for us. So I left, and then I found out like Twitter like literally seconds later, they're like, oh my god, new Guilty Gear, and I like had to pull up the trailer, and they also introduced a new black character in Guilty Gear, and like
A new black character.
So the
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing,
yeah, he's got the
Street
mask.
Fighter,
Yeah,
Tekken,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Like the
Smash,
four eyes
or
thing.
Guilty Gear.
yeah. So
So
the
3
one thing
games
I
drop
really
black
enjoy
characters.
about Japanese devs in fighting games, that they're adding a lot more diversity without making almost like a mockery of it, because I feel like whenever they portray black people like in the 90s and 80s, it was kind of
Do you know why? It's
Why?
because they don't pander. They just put things in and you just play it or you don't. So for them to add more characters, like it seems like a natural progression for them. Like even looking at like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball
I would
Z.
say that's a good example.
But
Or
as
Jinx.
a black person, whatever, like that made me laugh. But it was just like I know it wasn't like coming from the same place we think it might come from over here. It's just that's just the difference in their culture. So I was enjoying the whole rest of the presentation. That made me laugh, and I just kind of moved on from that. so it kind of makes sense that for them to add these characters in the games and it doesn't seem, like it seems more natural or it seems like a good fit. It would make sense in there too because they're not throwing it in there to like try to like introduce anything. It's just like here's some more different things.
And
I guess you Americans like different things. Here you go.
It definitely didn't feel like pandering either. Like they made it really natural.
Yes.
Like they made all the characters introduced like really natural. They didn't come out and be like, I'm the blackest guy to ever black in the state of black.
I'm all for diversity or whatever, but just don't pander. The second you pander, like go away with
although like Leroy Smith's kind of like pushing it, but
but
you gotta also understand that the population of Japan is 99.5% just Japanese. So
but also look at their youth and what cultures their youth like been based on.
A lot of their youth really like hip hop these days.
Exactly, since the 80s. So they're not unaware of us for sure. And the connection that places like Hawaii and stuff have with Japan, with that whole brown culture over there, for lack of a better word. So you know what I mean? So they're aware of it. It's just a thing in their culture, and it's fine. Because like when I saw Dragon Ball Z, even as a teenager, I had to laugh at that, but I wasn't offended because I was like, that's just how they roll. Like it's a thing. So
it's fair.
Yeah.
Well, that was EVO. Hit us up if you need any more content on that. Also, thank you, Maniacs, for listening to us. We got a couple more topics to hammer through real quick before we're done. But make sure to like, share, follow that salt_tier pod on Instagram and Twitter, saltTier podcast on Facebook. We're on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the
Google
things.
Play.
Google Play. But we're going to talk about a little tiny
We
game.
have 2 more topics left.
But these will be quick. We got a little tiny game that Sage Bell may or may not have cosplayed and may or may not be a fan of. And I'm going to kick it over to her.
Something about borders?
But Bonerlands?
Bonerlands.
Might as well be these days.
I love Bonerlands.
Might as well be.
So, I mean, there's a lot that's happened since I last spoke about Borderlands, but the most recent thing is, like, 2K sent some goons to, like, bully a YouTuber.
Not me, by the way. Actual goons.
I wish I was big enough for 2K to bully. I would have loved it.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on? They're like, what's going on? Are you here to bully me? What's up?
Basically, he found content on, like, a Twitter account that if you knew how to access, like, it was basically public, but not super public. So it wasn't necessarily private. They, like, bullied him and, like, flagged a lot of his content, but it all got canceled really quickly, too. So he got his content back.
That's wild. That's almost like Mafia sending out enforcers to do their bidding.
Shout out to Warner Brothers because they're famous for flagging stuff, too. So that's right up their alley. It's spreading over to video games now.
I heard you've been leaking stuff. Get ready to get copy strike.
Warner
bitch.
Brothers will copy strike themselves. They get so overzealous. But anyway.
2K did confirm they did send.
Yeah, which is the
over.
most insane part. Like, yeah, we sent goons over there. No big deal.
Because they're a mega corporation, so they get treated like people. Corporations get treated like people. Like I think that's where the problem is. So yeah, they're just like, we just did it. Yeah, and
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
we'll send goons to your house if you cause any shit.
We got lawyers, bitch. What you got?
Yeah, we got lawyers and goons. It's a perfect combination.
But this streamer, like, solely only streams on YouTube Borderlands games, and they, like, went and bullied someone who's, like, one of their biggest just streamers.
There's this weird thing that's been going on. Video games, movies, a lot of media, where the IP holders, the people in control of things, they target their own fans. Like, there's some weird, I don't know. This seems like another thing of that. I don't know.
They do, in fact, bully their own.
They go after their own fans. Yep. That's like the strangest thing, and it's kind of a new thing. It's only really been happening the last couple of years.
Because they're just greedy and want that money, the copyright infringement.
They'd rather blow up like one diehard fan and I don't know. It's weird. Anyway,
well, because a diehard fan isn't gonna match the amount of profits they make off of casuals.
But that diehard fan's also like streaming your videos on YouTube and like only posting your games. So there's people who watch his videos who never played a Borderlands game that are actually playing it now because of that person. It's just strange.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
I feel like it is.
Attacking the fandom a lot.
So basically, if we're gonna support them, we're gonna wait until it's on Steam again, right?
Yeah.
Fuck Epic Game Store.
Pretty much. I'm resigned to playing that in April. But that's going to be a great month. Borderlands 3 and Cyberpunk come out the same month, and it's my birthday. Like,
wait, when's your birthday?
April 24th.
Oh, okay, you're talking about then.
Mm-hmm. So
That-
both of
that
those games will be coming out on Steam in April. So it's going to be great.
So then, which leads us to our final news of the night, which involves a small-time Twitch streamer that plays Fork Knife. Former Twitch streamer that plays Fork Knife. We're talking about the one and only Mr. Ninja.
Yeah.
Tyler Blevins.
And this happened last week, and we didn't get a chance to report on it. But since last week, there's been even more. So it seems like even more appropriate to talk about it now.
Yeah.
So
for those who don't know, Ninja has been a prominent Twitch streamer for a very long time.
8 years.
Twitch made their meat and potatoes like on a Fortnite based off of Ninja.
This guy was statistically 0.7% of all their traffic. One person was almost 1%.
One person.
Of all their
So
traffic.
he was rolling in dough, right? Let's keep that in mind. The amount of viewers you get with the amount of ads he can roll during that time period, he's making bank. He's a millionaire. So for him to leave the biggest platform that's generated him all his money for a competitor speaks volumes. So if you think about it,
Is he any good at games?
That's like good at Fortnite.
But he's not like competitive.
No,
right?
he's good at
He
Fortnite.
he is competitive sometimes.
But he just makes good content.
Yeah, he makes a content creator.
He didn't make the cut for the World Series thing, though.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
No.
Shroud would have been better.
He's good. Man, if
But-
Shroud actually played that game.
But he left for Mixer.
14 million followers. Oh.
The next closest
Ew.
one is Shroud.
Yeah. So
He's got the kids, though. So.
basically, Mixer is a competitor streaming platform to Twitch. Was created not too long ago, actually, by Microsoft.
By this little startup, like you might have heard of him.
Yeah, just a little.
Microsoft.
So
slowly failing Mixer. And he left for that.
yep.
Microsoft better hopes this Mixer
Microsoft-
thing works out.
Microsoft had to have paid him a buttload of money for him to move, for him to feel like it was worth it. So it had to have been multi-million, like 100 million.
And they have that.
Realistically, like 8 to 10 million.
You think it's just 8 to 10 million, not
Something
multi?
like that.
Not. He is not nine
see it.
figures.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's a little
You know
ridiculous.
how much he was making on Twitch? Like
Less than 100 million a year. I
100
guarantee you
million
that.
a year? Yeah, less than 100 million.
That's what I'm
pretty
saying.
easy.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's not a
Now
nine-figure.
that I think about
dude.
it, I am
No,
probably
he is.
exaggerating. He probably would make his net worth. I feel like probably is like 40 to 50 million.
I'd say he's about like at 15 or 20 million right now.
You think so? I think
Yeah.
it's more than that.
I was-
He's pretty prominent as a
I
streamer.
think he was making about 2 or 3 million a year.
So can we get this podcast to at least 1 million?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. 1 million views,
That's
please.
a good split.
So we
Yeah.
roll some
That-
ads, make some of that ad money.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna kick this over to Saverings because I just want to inform you guys of what's happening. But apparently, Twitch has been using his now defunct channel for some sus things. You want to go into
Very
that?
sus. Like, okay, we
What?
all by default have a Twitch thing. Even if you don't have it, it takes like 2 seconds to get one. So imagine you stream like one video and you leave and you come back and Twitch was using your little dinky channel to promote their own shows on it with you not being there. Some of them of a very questionable nature. Like say you sent like your Twitch link to your mom or something. Was like, hey mom, you thought video games were blah blah blah, and then your mom had your Twitch thing and she gets a notification. Oh, he's streaming a video, and it shows a Russian porn site on your website. This is what happened. This is what happened.
This is real. This is
what
real.
happened to Ninja. And
Yeah.
Ninja has 14 million people, and he quit 2 weeks ago and went over to Mixer, at which he has 1 million subscribers already. He's already at 1 million subscribers. And this weekend, Twitch used his channel to stream promotional videos for other streamers, which include a recommended channel, which was a Russian adult video channel.
Goodness.
Which I thought Twitch was family friendly. So how did that get through?
But here's the thing, though. They're thinking that viewers spam that channel, so it showed up in the most recommended. They did the same thing with Valve when Artifact came out, and Valve had their channel and they had that promotional thing running on their channel. Viewers went and spammed a porn site, so it showed up in the most recommended on Artifact.
Oh, before you continue more, Trevor Green in our comments section says Russian bots strike again.
Yes.
Yes. I believe so too, comrade.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't know it was Russian adult video. I thought it was I just thought it was like Pornhub or something. I didn't think it was
No.
actually adult video, like
If
from
only we
Russia.
could be- if only we could be so lucky and it was porno. But basically, so that happened without his knowledge, without his anything like that.
Yeah, because he dropped a cell phone video. You know that shit is serious when you drop a cell phone video in your car.
Twitter cell phone video.
Yeah.
So you know it's serious.
He was like, I don't know what's going on, but there's been showing porn on my old channel. Like, I mean, I kind of would be weird too, because that could tarnish your brand.
And it was very well done. his little thing that he said. He said up until this point we had no beef to say anything bad about Twitch because there was nothing to talk about. But he's like, this is kind of ridiculous. I didn't sign off on any of this.
It's almost kind of petty.
It's very petty. Yes. And then Amazon's statement was, we don't know how the porn bot got on there, and we're looking into it. And everybody's like, why the fuck were you on his channel to begin with for this to even be happening?
We had a conversation like this in the past. I think it was between you, me, and Shady, where we were talking about if Twitch would miss somebody like Ninja leaving.
It's obvious they do. Dude was 1% of their traffic, and they thought enough of his channel to use it as free advertising.
People are dumb. I didn't like his channel. I didn't like PewDiePie's. I don't like any of these top games.
You don't talk shit about PewDiePie.
Yeah, you
Get the
leave the
fuck
feuds
out
alone.
of here.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Don't.
Dude, freaking whatever. There's like nothing.
You leave the
So the
alone.
Pewds. Felix, that man's getting married.
But I digress. Let's move on and get on with this episode. Closing statements, please, and thank you.
Wait, not closing statement. Steam.
Oh, Steam.
Oh, we got to do our little...
Sorry, Keith the Boogie.
Oh,
One more thing. Love
we
you.
forgot to announce our Steam winner.
So
We got
finally
a
hit
Steam
30.
winner.
We finally hit 30.
What up?
And after much grinding and gnashing of teeth, actually I just put it in a random name generator and it just sorted it out.
Oh, was me? Did I win? Did I win?
You're going to like this, Sage Bell. Our friend Taylor Swift
Oh!
in our Steam group. But that's Matt from Oregon.
I know this person.
He's our
Matt,
winner.
why aren't you on the stream right now?
Oh, he is our winner of the
He
the
won
free
last time I did a raffle thing for a random company.
Well, he is hella lucky then.
Better tag this boy in so
He was
can
actually the
redeem.
name that came up first. I ran this 10 times just for shits and giggles. If somebody came up twice, I was going to give it to them. And he was the first one, so I just gave it to him. So congratulations, Taylor Swift, a.k.a. Matt. The games you get to pick from, we have Dungeons 3. We have Civilization 6.
Nice.
Ooh, Civ 6.
And shockingly, we have a free copy of Stellaris if you don't have that already.
Oh, what do you know?
So we will contact you on Steam. We'll send you a message with the details, and we'll provide you with your key there.
Congratulations, Taylor Swift.
Congratulations. And that's why you listen to SaltTier Podcast. This is
Yep.
the video game podcast where your argument is
Invalid.
thank you. Very invalid.
We have one more announcement, man. You guys
We also do have
We're the
Columbo.
baddest.
Forgot to announce another announcement.
I know Columbo got us. There is one more last thing.
We're
just-
pulling the
oh,
Harada
just-
ourselves right now.
Just one more thing. Just one more thing.
So during PAX, this is the announcement, right? Keith the Boogie? Yeah, during PAX. On Friday,
Gotta ask Dad.
us and Mikey Likey, it's a collaborational event, are going to be throwing... I'm going to call it a party. Are we calling it a tournament?
No, it's a tournament. We're throwing an eSports tournament.
We're throwing an
We are
eSports
throwing an
tournament.
eSports fighting game
event
tournament.
for fighting games. It's going to be called Final Round.
Bonus round.
Bonus round. God. It's going to be called Bonus Round. Details are to follow with the location, exact time, but it will be Friday during PAX. And we have giveaways set up. We're going to give away one of those other Steam games. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah. We're going to give away, there's going to be cash prize.
Might have more games by then.
More games by then, and it'll be a good time. There's a bunch of phantom viewers that like this podcast that only kind of listen in and don't really interact. And I bump into them sometimes, and they're like, "Hey, last episode was great, man." I was like, "You listen? You never say anything." He's like, "Well, I don't want to talk, but I just like."
I don't
want
want to talk.
So there's a lot of people that actually like the podcast and just don't interact, and this will be a chance for you to meet all of us. This will be a chance for you to slap me or AV in the face and tell us to stop hating on your favorite games. We hate a lot.
Hey, no, PewDiePie. What's wrong with you?
I know.
Yeah, whatever.
Punch it for
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
Whatever,
I thought we
PewDiePie.
didn't like PewDiePie.
I
Whatever,
love
heavy
PewDiePie.
lift.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
I can't keep up with all these streamers.
Yo,
Oh.
yo.
PewDiePie's been around since 2009.
Yo, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Arslan.
I only heard of him because of this podcast.
Arslan ain't even that good. I beat him for free.
I mean, he said he wasn't even that good.
okay.
Check out his
so
piece
you
in
But-
gotta believe
Pakistan.
it.
Details are to follow. Stay tuned to the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Remember, Twitter and Instagram, we are salt_tier pod. Facebook, we are saltTier podcast. You can find us on the Steam group.
Yep, SaltTier podcast.
Thank you. And like I said, like, subscribe, and follow. That is not Mixer, sorry. That is Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher,
TuneIn, Spotify.
Spotify, and a little tiny company called iTunes. It's related to Pear
and the dark web, I'm sure.
and the dark.
And
We're on the dark web.
We're on the dark web.
Someone downloaded us to a video cassette. Thank you very much for listening to us. This has also been brought to you by New Belgium Brewing. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Remember that as a B Corp certified company, employee owned. # live rangerously.
Live rangerously.
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like we're doing something.
Did I polish? That was out. That was everything.
Yep.
This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network. Thank you kindly.
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yay!
Bye.
Okay.
Lauren